Newcastle looked like they were closing in on Victor Muñoz, a young Spanish winger, former Real Madrid prospect, and one of the breakout attacking players in La Liga. And then Liverpool came in, moved quickly, hijacked the deal, and suddenly the player Newcastle thought they were getting is now heading to Anfield instead. But here's the thing. This is not one of those signings where every fan instantly knows the player. This ain't Mbappe, Vinicius, Lamine Yamal. So the obvious question is simple. Why? Why did Liverpool move so fast? Why did Newcastle want him? And why would Andoni Iraola look at Victor Muñoz and think, yeah, that's exactly the type of winger I need? Because when you actually watch him, you may start to understand something very quickly. This is not just about goals. This is not just about assists. This is about profile. And Victor Muñoz has a profile that could make a lot of sense for Liverpool and Iraola. So Victor Muñoz is a 22-year-old Spanish international, right-footed, stands at around 1.73 meters, and he mainly plays as a left winger, although he can play, of course, on either side and even operate behind the striker if needed. He came through the Real Madrid system, spent time with Castilla, and then moved on to Osasuna. And that Osasuna move is exactly where his career really started to take off. In the 25-26 La Liga season, Munoz played 34 games, scoring 6 goals and 2 assists. In total, during the season, he took 81 shots, 31 of those were on target. He scored 6 from around 5.8 XG. And his XG on target was even higher, around about 7.5. So what does that kind of tell us? Because to be honest, that just sounds like a whole load of numbers. It tells us he's good at getting into good shooting position. He's testing the goalkeepers, and he probably could have finished with even more goals. But listen, Liverpool have not signed him because he's already putting up superstar output. That's quite clear from the amount of goals that he has got. They've signed him because of what he could become. He's fast, direct, explosive, aggressive, versatile, and useful in the type of high-energy transition, heavy football Iraola will want to build. Now, this is where things do start to get a little bit interesting, because Munoz is not just another winger who wants the ball to feet and 20 touches before making a decision. He wants space. He wants movement. He wants defenders running backwards. And for me, that's exactly why Liverpool have probably moved for him. Now, this is the part that really matters to all Liverpool fans, because when people hear winger, they usually imagine one of two things. You're either a touchline dribbler who hugs the line and tries to beat his fullback, or you're an inside forward who wants to cut inside and shoot. Munoz can do, I guess, bits of both, but his game is more specific than that. He is a runner, let's not lie. Carrier, a transition threat, a winger who becomes dangerous when the pitch opens up. And that is why the phrase deep-lying winger actually makes sense with him. He does not always need to receive the ball high up the pitch. He can start deeper, he can drop toward the halfway line, he can offer himself as a vertical passing option. And then, once he receives it, he can drive the team forward. That is one of the first things that stand out. His starting position is often wide. He gives the team the width, he holds the flank, he stretches the opposition back line. By doing that, he forces the fullback to make a decision. Do you stay narrow, leave him free, or do you step out and create space inside? I feel that that's going to matter for Liverpool and Iraola, because if you have players like Florian Wirtz who want to operate centrally, you need wide players who create space for him. You need runners, you need width, you need players who stretch the pitch so your creators are not playing almost in a phone box. Munoz can potentially help with that, but he is not just a basic touchline winger either. Although he starts wide, he does not stay there all the time. He moves into half spaces, he makes diagonal runs, he attacks the gap between fullback and centre-back. And when the ball is the opposite side, he can arrive in the box like a forward. That, for me, is a massive part of his threat. He is not a winger who is just standing outside the penalty area looking busy. He's had 143 touches in the opposition box. He gets into dangerous zones, and the shot map backs that up. 55 of his shots came from inside the box, 26 came from outside. So yes, he can shoot from range. Not to say they're all going to be on target, but he can shoot from there. Most of his threats coming from getting deeper into proper scoring areas. And that is what Liverpool should like, because the raw numbers are not just empty volume. There is intent behind them. He is trying to arrive, trying to shoot, trying to hurt the opposition. And this is where the data MB profile really becomes useful. Munoz ranks extremely well for progressive carries, around the 92nd percentile. He also ranks very highly for successful dribbles, around the 89th percentile, and that matches the eye test. He is constantly trying to move the team up the pitch, not with fancy stepovers, not with unnecessary tricks, but literally just by carrying the ball with speed and purpose. He completed 75 successful dribbles in La Liga. That is a serious number. Even more important is what those dribbles are doing. I think that is the key in what we need to really look at, because he's not dribbling to just entertain. He's dribbling to move the attack forward. He is dribbling to break pressure. He is dribbling to get Liverpool from one end of the pitch to the other. Now, when you compare Munoz with Liverpool's current wide options, the profile does become a little bit clearer. He completed around 2.4 take-ons per 90 minutes in La Liga this season. That is higher than Cody Gakpo did in the Premier League. But when it came to Rio, he was kind of the freakish one in that comparisons, because Rio's take-on numbers are ridiculous. But I feel like that is the point. Munoz is not coming in as the academy jewel. He's coming in as a more senior La Liga tested winger who already gives Liverpool direct ball carrying and senior experience. Now, when we take a look back at his profile, it has him quite high for carries and dribbles, but it has him lower for assists and key passes. And for me, that is exactly what you do see in the footage and the compilations. The first action is usually pretty good, the run, the acceleration, the carry, the ability to beat the first man. But the final action, for me, that is still developing. Sometimes I feel that the pass can come earlier, the cross can be a little bit cleaner, sometimes the shot selection can be a little bit better. Sometimes he does the hard part, he beats the defender, drives into the final third, and then the last decision, it's not really there. That for me is the next step, and that is probably the biggest question with him. Can he become more efficient? Because in La Liga, especially for a team like Osasuna, he had the space to transition. At Liverpool, especially when we're playing at Anfield, he will face low blocks. Teams will sit deep. Teams will double up. Teams will force him into tighter spaces. So he has to improve when the game slows down. He has to combine better in smaller areas. He has to become a little bit sharper with the final pass. He has to become more consistent when there is no grass to run into. But here is why I still don't mind the signing, because most of those weaknesses for me they're relatively coachable. Final third decision-making can improve. Combination play can improve. Cross-selection can improve. Timing. But the speed, directness, bravery, ball carrying, the desire to run beyond, those things for me are harder to teach. And he's kind of already got them. So, final verdict from me. Do I mind the signing? Not really. As long as Liverpool strengthen in other areas properly, then I'm actually all good. We know Victor Muñoz is not coming in as a finished article. He's still young. He still needs polishing. As I mentioned before, that final pass, the shot, the final decision, all of that still needs to improve. But I guess I can understand why Iraola would go for a player like this. He's quick, direct, aggressive, versatile, and he gives Liverpool a winger who can carry the ball, stretch the pitch, attack the space, and bring energy in transition. Liverpool still need to strengthen properly, as I mentioned before. But as a profile signing, as a player, Iraola can potentially develop as someone who gives the attack something a little bit different. Yeah, why not? I can understand why Liverpool moved so quickly. Newcastle clearly saw something, and so did Liverpool. And now it's over to Munoz to prove he can turn those raw tools into consistent Premier League output. Guys, let me know in the comments. Do you think Victor Munoz is a smart signing for Liverpool, or do you think the club still needs to aim higher? Stay blessed, keep the same energy, and I'll catch you guys real soon. Peace.